Hello YouTube, SentinalH back again with something quite different. We have Banished. So I know this isn't the type of game I usually play on this channel, but I want to showcase this game. I know a lot of other people are doing it on YouTube as well, because I really want this game to be successful, because I think it's really good and it's got a lot of potential for new content. So I really want, and this game was made by one person, so if I really want this game to do well, because if it does really well, he might be able to hire more people and put out more content and just keep making games, because this game is great. So what Banished is a sort of medievally themed, I don't really know what time period this is, but it seems rather medieval. A medieval themed city builder with a heavy focus on survival. Excuse me. Heavy focus on survival. There's no combat in this game. You don't have to defend your people from wildlife or anything. You're just trying to manage your resources and keep everyone from starving or freezing to death or dying from disease, and that's harder than you might think. So we're gonna make a new town. I don't know what should we name this. Let's name this something good. Let's name this well, why don't we just name this Minecraftia? So we got map seeds, and so if you want to play on the same map, you can use this map seed. You got two terrain types, valleys and mountains. This is the easier one, this is the harder one, although I imagine this one has more places for mines, but this is definitely the easier one. Terrain size, small, medium, and large. Even a small map is quite large for what the size of the towns that you're going to be doing. Now, the background you're seeing right now is a town that I've been building. It's not just a background, but large terrain is really big. So you'll never fill up that entire map unless you're extremely good at this game, and you'll have like hundreds of people there. So I'm going to keep it on small, because I've not even got close to filling up a small map. You got three choices for climate. You got mild, fair, and harsh. Basically easy, medium, and hard. I like to leave it on fair so far. I haven't used the other two, but I like to keep everything at medium, just for while I learn the game. I don't want to be a mild, because it's a big jump from mild to harsh, but it's not a big jump from fair to harsh, I'd imagine. Disasters, on and off. Disasters are things like fire, and I'm not sure if crop failure counts as a disaster. I don't know if infestations count as a disaster. They might. So if you turn disasters off, you'll have just a much easier time. But you also won't have as much fun. Starting conditions. This is where this is the difficulty of just your initial start. So on easy, you start with 6 families. You get lots of clothing, food, firewood, building materials, and you get tools. Lots of them. You already get some homes and storage areas like the barn, and you start out with seeds for fields and orchards, and a herd of livestock. This is absolutely massive. If you are just starting the game and you want to be able to experience and play around with farming and raising livestock, you're really going to want to set it to easy, because on medium and harder, you don't start with any seeds, and seeds cost an arm and a leg in the trader. The only way you can get seeds is by trading. So if you want to experiment with farming, definitely do easy. I'm going to do medium. Medium, you get 5 families. You get clothing, food, firewood, tools, and construction materials. Pretty standard amount. You get a storage barn. It says some seeds for fields and orchards are available, but I haven't seen any. So I have to make sure and check and see if I actually would get those. And on hard, you only get 4 families, so it's not very many workers. You only get a little bit of clothing, food, firewood, and tools, and you get no seeds. Although I haven't seen any seeds even on medium, but I'm going to stick on medium. Basically, hard is really hard. You don't start with any buildings. You start with very limited resources and hardly any food, so you've really got to get going quick. I'm going to keep it on medium, and we're going to start this new map. It doesn't take very long to load, and I really like this game. It's quite streamlined, I think, and alright. So here we are on the game. I'm going to pause this for now. So you can adjust timescale. If you couldn't adjust the timescale, it would be bad, but you can adjust the timescale, so that's really good. The first thing you're going to want to do is open up Tools and turn on General Statistics. So here we see everything that we kind of want to know at a glance. We see how many people we have without homes or without jobs. Right now, nobody has a house. You see how many adults you have, how many students, and how many children. That's really important to keep track of. You see the temperature. Hello, Skype. And you see your basic resources, your wood, your stone, and your metal, your building materials. Your firewood, you see your coal and your tools. You see your food, your medicine, and your clothing. This is the big one here, is food. You're really going to want to keep an eye on food and make sure you always have a good amount of food. You never want to drop low. Make sure you're always at or near your maximum. Oops, I closed it. I want to leave that open. I also want to leave this event log open and put it in the bottom. That will tell you when anything important happens, like children being born or people becoming workers and things like that. Here we have a map. I don't really find the map that useful just because you zoom out enough you can see almost the entire map, but let's take a look at it. We have this big pond up here, big lake. That would be considered a landlocked lake, so the only thing you can build on this water is fisheries. But you could probably fish this out pretty quickly. And that's another thing we'll get to in a minute. This is the main river that cuts through the entire map. This is the river that you need to build a trading post on in order to get merchants to show up. I think every map has this. They would have to, otherwise you can't do trading. You can't do it on these little river things here. Only the big one. And so, this is a pretty decent map. We've got a really nice, big, giant, open area right here, which is really great. We've also got some nice, straight hills to build mines on later. I'll be able to build a mine here, actually. Have it right next to our place. So that's pretty good. And then we want to open this tab. This is the Jobs tab, Professions. Lets you keep track of all your people and what they're doing. So right now we have 10 laborers, because everyone is basically a laborer. Now this isn't the same, if you've played Dwarf Fortress, this is not the same as being idle. Laborers do actually do things. Laborers are the ones that put out fires with, if you have wells, they're the ones that will chop down and gather resources that you just have them chop down. They will carry the resources from stockpiles to building sites, so they won't do the actual building. And if somebody that's doing a job dies, if you have laborers, a laborer will automatically take over that job. So you always want to have at least a couple of laborers. They are useful. They're not just idle. So we have a lot of jobs here, and we'll basically end up having somebody on almost all of them. In my last city that I'm working on right now, I don't have any farmers, and I don't have a brewer, but I have one of everything else. So you do end up using it all. So let's see. We've started out here. We can build a couple of things. First, we're going to want to build a food supply. We only have 1,800 food, and that may sound like a lot, but that will disappear very quickly. So we want to build a gatherer's hut. Gatherer's huts are right now the best food supply in the game, for a very simple reason that they produce more food than anything else. Basically, what a gatherer's hut, just what it is just a place where people go and they pick berries and they gather roots and stuff, but it's really, really good. They get a lot of resources. Now you want to place these in forested areas because it's the full-grown trees that cause the things to spawn. So if you look down here, you can see they look like mushrooms, or these little tiny bushes. Those are the nodes that I believe the nodes that the gatherer's hut gathers for. So you want to place this ring as much inside of a wooded area as you can. So I'm going to put it there. And then I'm going to build a road. You don't need to build roads, but I like to build roads. So I'm going to build this road straight up here. Now, cool thing about the roads, they do go like that, but if you hold shift, they will go at an angle. But I do like to keep things straight because, I mean, the building mechanics do work on a grid. Alright, so the gatherer's hut has been placed down. Now, this tells you here everything that has to be done in order to build this. Since there's trees and stuff on this area, they're going to have to remove that. And this is a great thing. I really like this mechanic, is that you don't have to pre-clear the area. You place it down, and then they will have to clear it themselves. Then the number of logs they need, the stone, and then this is the work that the builders will come over here with their tools, they'll whack at it, and do the work. And it also tells you how many people that you would need to build it at its optimal speed, and that shows you up here. So when we have a construction project going, it tells you how many builders it recommends having. So I'm going to pump 3 builders, so it adds to the builders and subtracts from the laborers. Alright, so they'll build that. I also am going to want a Forester Lodge. Forester Lodge is also really, really good. You need to have these to get your wood. And so we're going to place that right there. What the Forester's Lodge does is it's sustainable wood cutting. If I wanted to, I could go to Removal and Destruction Tools. I could grab Remove Resources, select this entire thing, and chop this whole forest down. That would give me a lot of resources, but at the same time, this forest will be gone. It won't grow back. Forests will only grow back if there's other trees nearby, and it takes a really long time. So what the Forester does is they will sustainably chop trees and plant new ones. So you need foresters. Foresters are important. So Gatherer, Forester, that's what I tend to build first. Now let's see. What I want to look for now is herds of animals. I don't see any animals here. There's some deer there. Because I'm going to want to put down a hunting lodge in order to get leather to be making clothes. But we'll get to that in a minute because we got plenty of clothes. So I've got those two things stored up. So it's early spring right now. But winter will come before you know it, so I'm also going to want to place down at least a couple of houses. Place that there. And then we're going to turn this on and crank up the sim speed to 10 times. That's as fast as you can go. I'm going to make pretty much everyone a builder. They're going to whack up the rows. It doesn't take very long to build the rows, so I didn't care about placing them. I've seen some other players play this, like Quill. I think there's like a number at the end, but I was watching Quill play this, and he didn't like to place roads because they would spend time doing it, but it doesn't take them very long. It speeds up the process of getting there so much. Like, roads are so much faster. Right, so they have brought all the resources needed to build the Gatherer's Hut. They just have to get around to building it. And it looks like someone's doing that. They got the houses up real quick. I don't know if they prioritize the houses. Oh, here we go. But they got them built really fast. So now we have our Forester's Lodge and our Gatherer's Hut. I'm going to take off of builders, because we don't need them anymore. And I'm going to put in 4 gatherers. And I don't really need 4, actually. I'm going to put in 3 gatherers and 2 foresters. So that'll give me a good amount. I don't have enough people to max these out. People are your biggest resource in this game because you can't work things when you don't have the people for it. So you really have to make sure that you have to balance it out. Put another house because there are still people without houses. This is basically how you start out. You make sure you build a house for everybody because you don't want anyone to not have houses when spring comes. I am actually going to place another gatherer and another forester for now because there's no point in having that many extra laborers sitting around. So as you can see, people are chopping down trees, but they're also replanting them. And you can turn either of these off. So if I only wanted my forester to plant trees, I could do that. You can do that if you want to plant a forest in an area that has no forest. It will take a couple of years, I think 4 years for the trees to grow. Okay, so we still need another house. Remember, we had 5 families, so we've got 4 houses, but we need another one. So I'll just... kind of am going to want to play... Actually, no, I don't want to place a market there. I'll probably place it over here, so it doesn't matter. This area over here. So let's go ahead and place another house. And you'll notice there are multiple house models, and you can actually cycle between those. I forget the button, but it cycles anyway, so... Okay, so we're low on stone. That's because these wooden houses do have a stone foundation. But we'll fix that. We'll just grab our Collect Stone tool. And we will highlight some stone. And it places X's, I mean little pickaxes underneath them, so you know that you're having people harvest those. We may as well have them grab all the stone out of this area, because the foresters will do that anyway. And if that's queued up, then we'll have some people that'll start doing that. Laborers and stuff. So this is as fast as the game goes. You can't pump this up to 15 or 20. Okay, so we're out of firewood, which isn't good. The way you get firewood is you go to resource production and you build a woodcutter. And we got the resources for it. So the woodcutter, he cuts wood into firewood. It's really that simple. That's where I want to put this. So I put that there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I put it there, so that I can fit something that's 5 wide over there. I just want to make sure I don't leave any gaps where I like can't put anything. Okay, so we only need we need 3 builders to be at maximum, but 2 is fine. It's summer right now, so they don't really need firewood. But once we get to winter, we're gonna want firewood because wooden houses don't provide the most warmth, and you don't want to build stone houses because they're expensive to start out with. You can't do it. Stone houses provide more warmth than wooden houses. They won't need to build it to burn as much firewood. Okay, Eleni became an adult. You see that in the bottom left there. That means we have another laborer. So I am going to make this laborer a builder for now. Once this woodcutter is built, that person will become a woodcutter. Although it doesn't really matter who does what, because you can't control that anyway. You just set the amount of people you want on a job and they do it automatically. There is no skill in this game. Like, individuals don't gain skill at a certain job. Pretty much anybody can do anything. So you just set the numbers of each one you want and they will go and do it. Okay. So what we got now? Well, we need clothes, but that means we need leather. Do I have seeds? Do the potatoes count as seeds? If I plant a potato farm, will that actually grow? I don't know. Let's try it. Let's go to a crop field. I don't know the ideal size of a crop field. There is an ideal size for these. I know that, but I don't know what it is. You can't have it too small. That's the smallest you can have. You don't want to make it too big either. I honestly don't know how big to make this. Let's go with 8 by 8 seems like a good size. Okay, so yeah, potatoes. Okay, and we can actually do corn as well. I guess we have some corn seeds or something. But before we eat up all these potatoes, I want to plant some potatoes. This would be good to know before. I actually didn't realize this. Oh, it's late summer though. They didn't be able to plant it. I should have done this sooner. That should have been the first thing I did, honestly. Oh, so you don't need to build it. You just need to have farmers. Unfortunately, I don't think they can plant the potatoes because I think you can only plant in spring, which is unfortunate right now because we're gonna hit our first winter. But yeah, this is the game so far. I really like this game. So we're gonna need a tailor. Let's take 48 stone, which we don't have, 32 wood, which we also don't have, and we need to start storing up wood and firewood anyway, because we don't have any firewood. So let's just start this up. No one's gonna die anytime soon. It's gonna take a long time for people to start dying of old age and stuff, so we don't really have to keep a large number of laborers on hand. People do die of old age, obviously. Oh, we have another laborer now. If you click on the houses, you can see who's living there. If I pause this for a sec. So, like, this gatherer, this forester, they're both adults. And these two are both adults. Now, these two won't be having children because, I know they're only 10 years old, but they still count as adults. These won't have children because they're not in their own house. So if I want them to have children, I need to build another house. I am going to do that. You have to manage um, the population quite by just building houses. And what I generally just like to do is make sure that everyone is. Oop, here we go. I like to make sure that there aren't more than 3 adults living in a house, and we'll finish that later. So yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying looking at Banished. I'm gonna make a couple of videos about this. I've been hard at work on the steampunk Let's Build, so that is coming soon. But I got the interior to do now, and you know me with interiors. So anyway, I'll see you guys next time. I've been SentinalhMC, and I'm signing out.